Assalamu Assalamu alaikum everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Humair Esrar. I am the Trade and Investment Attaché of Pakistan to South Africa and to the Southern African Custom Union and plus Mozambique. Thank you for joining us. Today's webinar. I am really grateful to Mozambique Chamber of Commerce, Asif Saab, for arranging participation from Mozambique side for this webinar. And Naveed Sahab, thank you for joining us from Pakistan. We also have Trade Development Authority of Pakistan. We are doing this webinar keeping in view the upcoming third Pakistan Africa Trade Development Conference and Single Country Exhibition, which is scheduled on 29th November, 30th November, and 1st of December 2022 at SANDTON Convention Center, Johannesburg. We have already extended invitation for that event to Mozambique Chamber of Commerce, and we would be very glad to receive you in our event. I will begin with, I have made a small presentation to give a little bit of information about Mozambique because those who are coming to South Africa have a little bit knowledge about South Africa, but to the nearby stations or the countries bordering South Africa, they seldom have any information about them. Mr. Naveed rightly pointed out that Mozambique is a very lucrative market. SEPRA, of course, going through plus the long queue to SAPRA is very frustrating. And but Mozambique, and yesterday we also had a webinar on Namibia. So Namibia was also a good session, and it's also comparatively easy to enter that market. And on the northern side of Namibia, we have Angola, where I think two Pakistani pharmaceutical companies are they have planned to start their manufacturing there. Okay, so okay, we will be recording this session and I'll upload it on the official YouTube channel of the Trade Commission. I'll share the link with Asif Sahab, and he can further share it with companies and people who want to benefit from it. Okay, so this is our official poster for the third Pakistan Africa Trade Development Conference. The building shown on the poster is the SANDTON Convention Center, and inshallah we'll have our event here. So a little bit about Mozambique. The Republic of Mozambique, we can see on the map, this side of the country is Mozambique. Actually, we were expecting a lot of participation from Pakistan, but it just rained in Karachi. The Royal Group also joined us. So maybe we can expect them join us along the way while we'll be doing our session. So you can see this part is Mozambique, and it is almost the size of Pakistan, and with very less population, and people of Mozambique having had the personal opportunity to go there and meet, they're very sweet and nice. Okay, Mozambique covers the sizable area of 799,380 square kilometer, which is almost the area of Pakistan, a little bit smaller, but almost the area of Pakistan. It is very strategically located as to the southeast of African continent, and it shares border with 6 other countries: Tanzania, Malawi, Zambia to the north, Zimbabwe to the west, South Africa, and Eswatini to the south. That all of those that are landlocked and totally dependent on Mozambique for trade access to the sea. If you look at all these countries, Pakistan enjoyed. Tanzania has recently become a third bigger major trading partner for Pakistan. Malawi, we are also experiencing good trade with Malawi. Zambia, we export a lot of rice to. Then we have Zimbabwe. We also export cement and rice. In Zimbabwe, we also have good rice export market. South Africa, I think South Africa is on number 2nd in terms of trade. And Eswatini, we have recently increased our trade from $300,000 to $1 million US, and that largely in light engineering goods and surgical instruments. Capital of Mozambique, if we speak from point of view of pharmaceutical, recently Pakistan has also increased its pharmaceutical supply to South Africa to the tune of around 67 million. Capital of Mozambique is Maputo, and it lies very close to the eastern border of South Africa. The country is also blessed with 2,500 kilometer long coastline and boasts numerous super beaches fringed by lagoons, coral reefs, and strings of small islands. Climate of Mozambique is tropical to subtropical, and natural resources of Mozambique includes titanium, natural gas, hydropower, and aside from this, Nigeria also has aluminium. Agricultural land of Mozambique constitutes 56.3% of its total land, and forest cover 43.7% of the land. Mozambique is rich in natural resources and produces a large variety of agricultural products. I'll skip mentally through these. It has also significant coal reserves and hydroelectric potential and possesses the world's largest reserve of tantalite. It is the 10th largest producer of cassava and 18th largest producer of oilseeds. Although agriculture employs 71% of the people's active population, it represents only 24.5% of the GDP. Most agricultural production comes from family farms, but the sector is particularly vulnerable to natural disasters such as droughts and floods. Main crop in the country are corn, cassava, beans, rice, and a variety of vegetables and seed oils. Talking about the demographic, is a you can say it's a developing country and sparsely populated with high fertility and mortality rate and rapidly growing youthful population. 45% of the population is younger than 15 years of age. Its poverty rate is mostly caused by natural disaster, diseases, high population growth, low agricultural productivity. Birth rate is highest, averaging around more than 5 children per woman, and average population growth rate is 2.46. If you look at the current trend, I think in future Mozambique is going to be a good market for Pakistani goods. As the sustained high level of fertility reflects gender inequality, low contraceptive use, early marriages, and childbearing. A little bit about the ethnicity. The population of Mozambique is 30 million. Religious landscape, if you look at Roman Catholics make 27.2%, Muslims are 18.9%. Ethnic composition of Mozambique includes African, Euro-African, Indian, and European. The education, the interesting thing about Mozambique is education spending is 6.5% of the GDP, which is really appreciative, and it reflects the priorities of the government, where the government money is mostly concentrated in. Mostly diseases in the country are waterborne diseases. Waterborne diseases like diarrhea, hepatitis A, and typhoid fever, malaria, dengue fever, water contact disease. I would request if somebody's mic is on, turn it off, muted. Country is one of the Mozambique, one of the countries suffered a lot. Is there anyone who is has suffered a lot due to HIV disease and death due to HIV? In 2018, it was estimated to be around 53,900. Speaking a little about the economy, in the real GDP growth rate of Mozambique is 2.3% in 2021, and per capita is $500. According to data provided by the investment agency of the Mozambique, it is the investment and export promotion agency of the Mozambique, APIEX. Extractive industry makes 17%, transport, storage, information, communication 14%, trade industry 9%, electricity, water and gas 9%, manufacturing industry 6%, hotel, accommodation, restaurant 6%, financial services and insurance 6%, agricultural, hunting and forest 6%, fisheries 5%, construction and education 5%, human health, social action 4%, and others. Higher imports mainly pushed by larger investment project needs for capital goods and services. Coming to Mozambican currency, it's called Metical, and $1 is equal to 63.83 Metical. Poverty reduced, but mostly as we saw that the poverty is mostly correlated to the natural disasters that hit the country time and again. If you look at Pakistan exports with Mozambique, Mozambique is one of our destinations for rice export. Export in 2021 calendar year, January to December, was to the tune of $117.7 million. Imports were around 40.55 million, which increased as compared to previous years. Top exports includes rice, clothing, rice to the tune of 62 million, clothing and other textiles 36 million, cement 3.5 million. Top imports include coal 37 million, cotton 1.1, and iron waste 0.8. cotton export has recently started, and we appreciate, and recently we had a discussion with the Ministry of Trade. So we also facilitated and we encouraged Mozambique to export cotton, because Pakistan is has a strong textile sector. So there is a huge consumption for cotton on our part. For the rest of the presentation on the pharmaceutical sector, I would request the Mozambique side, Mr. Asif. I would request to take on the session from now on. Thank you, Mr. Asif. If you have any, and if anyone has any questions, do feel free to ask me. Ji Asif sir.
Assalamu alaikum, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you for this opportunity and for those who are here with us. Dr. Basit, if you can please provide some information about the pharma and the things that we importing from other countries. Dr. Basit, please.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for having me. I have some information about the pharmaceutical companies here. We have lots of pharmaceutical companies, mainly from Europe. We have medication from Brazil. We have lots of companies that come from India that they established here from long ago. So, in my opinion, the market is very big. There is very big opportunities in the pharmaceutical companies in importing for us or manufacturing. Manufacturing will be great. It's far more, because the country doesn't have any. So it's far more profitable and for long-term companies. If you'd like to know about importation for us of medicine, there is a procedure you have to go through for each medication. You need to do the technical file, you need to submit to Ministry of Health. It takes about 6 to 8 months for each medication, and it's about more or less €1,000 per medication per registration. Yes, I think that's mostly. Do you need to know medication that is most commonly used here? Yes, use lots of antiparasitic medication, lots of high blood pressure, diabetes, HIV, flu-like symptoms. So there's a huge opportunity now. And the country is growing, and the power of buying also is growing. For me, I think that's all. I have a colleague here.
Yeah, Dr. Basit, I would like to know more about your company, more where you work, so for the idea of the people who are there at that side.
Sorry, where I work, what you do? Okay. I'm a general physician. We have a clinic located in the province, Maputo, and in San Garcia near the border, where we provide services, all kinds of services, radiology, pharmacy. We have a very big lab, and we do small surgeries. And we are planning to expand nationally. Hopefully, by next year, we want to open 3 or 4 more branches around. Any other question? Hello?
Yes,
yeah.
I have a question. When you want to register a medicine, Dr. Basit, thank you for the information that you shared. I have a question. When you want to register a medicine, where do you go? Which authority registers it? Where do we file the application?
Ministry of Health.
In the Ministry of Health.
You apply to Ministry of Health.
Okay.
Yes, they have a department there of pharmaceutical and for all the medicine, etc.
Okay.
In the Ministry of Health, the Department of Pharmaceutical.
In the Ministry of Health Department. Okay, sir. I would request the audience, if they have any questions, all those who are participating from Mozambique, I would request them to introduce themselves. So those who are participating from Pakistan can get to know who they are meeting. We had Dr. Basit with us.
Yes.
Mr. Dionisio, please, can you speak about?
Yes, this is Naveed Ahmed from Hirani Pharmaceutical. I'm leading the international business in Africa, and I'm also participating in South African upcoming exhibition with TDAP. So the information from Mr. Basit is enough for us to understand, because I think we know everyone from pharmaceutical. If I'm wrong, there are a few people from pharmaceutical. They know everything regarding the Ministry of Health and dossiers, files, and everything. Now the issue is to find out the the ground to come up on that press procedure. So we cannot go without the distributor. We cannot go, or without the representative, we cannot go there. So I think it's enough for us, the presented by Basit Saib, and hopefully we will work on this region and see how we can put the dossiers like files and technical files. We are prepared for that for Mozambique. So thank you for that information. And
thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. G. We have next Mr. Kando Dipen from Mozambique.
Yes, I'm here.
Please introduce yourself, sir.
Hello. Sorry, I was muted. Well, I'm Kandi Dungovu from Mozambique Chamber of Commerce. I'm here as assistant assistant with Salim Asif, Mr. Asif.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Kondu Dipen. And then we also have Mr. Syed M. Sikandar, Taqwa Pharmacy, Royal Group, Galaxy S10. I don't know who their names cannot.
Sorry. Wait. Let me. Yes. Yeah, I can hear well now.
Okay. Actually, let me introduce myself. My name is Syed Mohammad Sikandar, and I represent Haidun Laboratories. And we are already currently exporting to one of the customers in Mozambique. But we think that it is having a good potential in the region. And what we are trying to do is now add up maybe more customers for our different range of products. So we will be very interested to who are in the business. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We also have Taqwa Pharmacy, and there are two other contacts and then their names are Dr. Hafiz Roy. We also have Dr. Hafiz Roy, and we also have another joining Dionisio. Mr. Dionisio, please introduce yourself.
Hi, this is Albina. I'm actually from Shifa Hospital.
Mozambique.
Mozambique, indeed.
Thank you, sir. We have Dr. Hafiz Roy as well.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
I hope everybody is doing fine. My name is Dr. Hafiz Roy Umar, and I am actually director in two of my companies. One deals in pharmaceuticals, Famir Pharma, another one based in Karachi, Al Sayed Laboratories.
Thank you, sir. We also have Taqwa Pharmacy.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Naveed Kadir. I'm from Taqwa Pharma, Pakistan, Karachi. We are exporting nutraceutical products to all over the world and pharmaceutical products. I will be also there in South Africa this year, inshallah ta'ala, and looking forward to meet all the potential customers. I have one question from my colleagues from Mozambique. How is the forex currency situation in Mozambique? Is there any shortage of foreign currency for payments, or is it available?
Assalamu alaikum. Very good question. But actually, yes, we had some issues on payments due to bureaucratic issues in banks. But now it's sorted out. But from last 3 to 4 years, we are with same rate. It's 65 meticais each dollar. We are not changing. We are not having devaluation like you're having in Pakistan. So at the moment, in this case, is like it's a good market to look on. Hope I answered your question.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Dionys, if you can introduce a bit about your hospital and about the other pharmacy that you have, please.
Hello, this is Albina again. We a medium hospital. We have 48 beds. Within the hospital, we also have a pharmacy. So we do import pharmaceuticals from Pakistan, from India, South Africa, and sometimes from Portugal as well.
What are the medicines and the surgical items that you're bringing from Pakistan? Because I know some came from Sialkot. I was in between that also. But what are the main items that you're bringing from Pakistan?
Basically, it's anesthetics and the medication for ophthalmological surgeries.
Anyone has any question, please? Dr. Basit, if you have any question with our people from Irani or Royal or
Asif,
G.
Actually, I have a question. We just wanted to understand how much is the share of the private market, and is there a tender market as well in which pharmaceutical manufacturers can directly participate in that?
Yes, there is a lots of tenders for the government, big tenders, and the private sector also contributes a lot. So in both ways, the market is growing and it's stable. I would like to introduce Dr. Ana Tercia. I think she will talk right now, please, and introduce herself. Dr. Ana Tercia.
Yes, doctor. Yes, doctor, thank you so much. I'm Ana Tercia Tomas. I'm a pharmacist. I work with Dr. Basit, but in Dayan Healthcare. We are a company that have experience on bringing stock, importing stock. We are doing now, especially with South Africa and Portugal. So it's also very good, or a good opportunity to be here.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you, Dr. Natasha. And I hope I answered your question.
Are there any other questions that somebody would
Sorry.
Dear Dr. Hafiz,
Yes.
In reference to Mr. Sikandar Saab from High Noon Pharmaceutical, actually, I would like to continue forward that question regarding the percentage share of medicine or surgical instruments in both private and government sectors. My question actually is regarding the government sectors. For example, a government issues a tender demand and the company goes for it, and it is also awarded with that particular tender of particular product, you can say. So afterwards, is it necessary that the company has to go for pre-registration first, meanwhile the tender is proceeded onwards? Or is it there's a certain provision or certain exception regarding the tender businesses in Mozambique? And secondly, in order to get it legitimized as per the Ministry of Health Pharmaceutical Department, sorry, I'm looking downwards as I've noted all the points. Can we have a general guideline regarding the registration in MOH Pharmaceutical Department, Mozambique?
Dr. Natasha, would like to answer that, please?
Sorry, I mixed it. Can you please ask again?
My last wordings for my question were, can we have a certain guideline regarding the registration process into the pharmaceutical department of Ministry of Health in Mozambique?
Yes, great.
How do we get that guideline for registration?
We can guide you. We can send all the papers and documentation that they are asking for by email. You can share your email with us, with Dr. Basit or with me, and we will send you all the requirements documentation. We can use. We will do a registration process. Usually it takes from 3 to 6 months to register one medication. So our pharmacists will request all the documentation and we will do it for you. No problem.
Please पूछेगा.
Dr. Basit, there was one more question of Dr. Hafiz Roy, if the doctor can answer. It is necessary to be registered in Mozambique to be part of tender?
No, it's not. Sorry.
Yes.
So sorry, Dr.
Go ahead.
That was actually my first question. I asked 2 questions. Yes.
Okay.
Dr. Natasha,
no,
please.
It's not it actually is not necessary to register. We can do a special importation that is more easy when we are doing a tender. There is an advantage when the medicine is registered, but we can do importation using the special importation process.
Special importation provision, like, okay, I get it.
Yeah. Yes,
okay.
It's more easy.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Welcome.
All the participants from Pakistan, if you have any queries, I will share the contact of Asif Panjwani Sahab, and he will share contact of all those participating from Mozambique. Asif Sahab, I would request if you could share, I will share it with TDAP onwards, share it with them, because the focal point is TDAP and my office and your office. So this route will be followed for the sharing of any sort of information. हाफिज साहब, डॉक्टर हाफिज रॉय साहब, आपको इंफॉर्मेशन इसमें डॉक्टर बासित और उनकी जो कंपनी है उनके बारे में मिल जाएगी थ्रू द TDAP ऑफिस फैसल साहब से. Do we have any other further questions or should we conclude today's session? Dr. Basit, Dr. Anastasia, would you like to add further something that you would like the participant, the companies from Pakistan, you would like to tell them to something about any, the hurdles that are there in the Mozambique market, or any challenges you want them to be aware of beforehand, or any other information?
Yes, in Maputo, we have a little bit of bureaucratic problem. It takes some time normally to do stuff, but I think in most countries it's like that.
Okay.
Secondly, in my opinion, there is a very big market, and there is a very huge market for manufacturing. It can be medication, it can be surgical products, disposable products, etc.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, we also have surgical instrument companies coming. I think there are 12 or 13 of them coming to the exhibition. So all those Mozambique companies who are present today, please join us and be there on 29th, 30th, 1st of December in Johannesburg to meet our companies in person. And I hope both sides benefit from each other. So I think, yes.
I will need to push all of them, especially Mr. Dr. Basit.
Ji. Inshallah. Thank you. I think two of the companies,
okay,
Dr. Hafiz Roy and Naveed from...
Yes. Especially thanks to Mr. Basit and his colleague. They explained a lot of things. So I think it's enough for us in the first Zoom meeting. And let's start the communication.
Thank you, sir. All those who wants to go to...
And let's hope to work together.
Thank you. Those who wants to go to Mozambique, I would like to tell them in advance that on green passport, it may take the visas, they go to Maputo. So it may take a month or so before. So it's advisable to apply for the visa in advance. And we would request Mr. Asif, all those who are interested must approach the trade office, and we will request Mozambique chamber, Mr. Asif, to issue them with invitation so that they can visit Maputo for business. Thank you everyone. I think with
okay. Okay, ma'am, thank you very much. All will be, the protocols will be following. So I'll be in touch with Omera ma'am from TDAP and from Mozambique Chambers. So we will do like this. Any messages will go through, every message will go through the protocol. Thank you.
Thank you everyone. I think with this we will conclude our today's session. Bahut shukriya. Thanks a lot to Mr. Asif Saab for today's session. And we are really grateful to Dr. Basit and his team, Dr. Anastasia, for giving us the time. Of course, the time of our doctors is more precious. So we really appreciate the time we really appreciate and thank you for taking out some time for our today's session. Thank you everyone, and see you on 29th and 30th November in Johannesburg, SANDTON Convention Center.
Thank you.
Inshallah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you. Bye.